In a previous video, we talked about the invention of metalwork.
What the hell? What are you doing in my office and who the hell are you?
You alright there, bud? Calm down a bit. This topic deserves to be treated a little bit differently than how you deliver history.
And what exactly do you mean by that?
You're kind of boring.
What? Damn. Well, if you got a better idea, I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, damn right. Now, if you can give me a moment to introduce myself, or are you gonna interrupt me again? Okay. So my name's Jaden, I run a channel called Takoa. It happens to be a gaming channel, but I also happen to be a fan of history. So, let's get into this one. Like I stated before I was rudely interrupted, in a previous video, we discussed ancient metalworking. What we didn't talk about are the ancient weapons and the badasses that use them. So sit back, relax, and let the blood flow. Gaining legendary status and shrouded in propaganda are the warriors of Sparta. A movie we all know and love, called 300, pushed the Spartan warriors to infamy. Not to a cliff, that's the opposing force. Sadly though, it is a glorified position. Don't take that the wrong way, because Spartans were still this badass elite fighting force. They just weren't as infallible as pop culture would lead you to believe. Although what the movie did get right though, were the arms that the Spartan warriors carried. A large shield, long spear, and a backup sword. What the movie got wrong was that they didn't just wear a red cape and a diaper. Spartan warriors were actually very heavily armored. They wore bronze armor covering almost every part of their body, essentially turning them into walking tanks. The large shield they carried not only blocked weapon strikes and arrows, it too could also be used as a weapon, and it was very effective. A bash to the head from a Spartan shield could cave any man's skull in with ease. The Spartans valued their shields so much, many were family heirlooms passed down generation to generation. While losing a spear or sword was acceptable, if a Spartan lost his shield, it was considered a great disgrace. If a Spartan was to return home without his shield, he would be considered a deserter. The reason for this strong belief is because the tactics used in battle. The Spartan shield was instrumental in the phalanx formations that the Spartans used in battle. Without the shield, a weak spot was created, so don't drop your shield. Also carried by the Spartans were their spear and sword. The spear, well, it's a spear. There's nothing special or notable about the spears carried by the Spartan army. They were made of wood, tipped with either bronze, iron, or steel, and often broke. The swords carried by the Spartans were, however, shorter than the standard at the time. The usual size was around 60 centimeters, and the Spartan sword was 30 to 45 centimeters. The reason for the shorter length was when the phalanxes crashed into each other, it was capable of being thrust through the gaps in the enemy's shield wall and armor. An Athenian once asked a Spartan why his sword was so short. He replied, "It's long enough to reach your heart." That's fucking badass. The whole reason why the weapons and the Spartans were so effective though? The shield, well, it wasn't anything special. Neither were the spear or the sword. So what made them stand out in the past, thrusting them to near mythological status? Training. Spartans were first and foremost a badass warrior. Their tactics and formations were basically the same as other Greek city-states. What set them apart was their training, their profession. Just ask them.
What is your profession?
Spartans began their military career at the age of 7. Forced to partake in the agoge, the young children were drilled to exhaustion. They were taught not to feel pain. They were beaten, tortured, and sometimes even raped by older men.
I need an adult.
I am an adult.
The training didn't stop, ever. The age of military retirement for Spartan warriors was 60 years old. The whole of their culture was based around one thing: war. That is why the Spartans were so effective. They didn't have advanced tactics, weapons, or armor. They were just that good. They were trained from birth and usually until their death in the art of war. Even though they shouldn't be held to such reverence because of movies peddled by Hollywood, the Spartans were badasses, and the way they fought might not have been special, but they sure as hell were. We will be going in depth on the Spartans and their culture in a later video series. Let me ask you a simple question. You see the sword in the hands of the majestic, unwavering, beautiful Russell Crowe?
Are you not entertained?
That's the Roman gladius. The Roman gladius had many different incarnations, but the most popular was the Pompey gladius. Roughly 24 to 26 inches long, it was made out of steel and was double-edged, allowing for greater use on the battlefield. It was used alongside a massive rectangular shield in what was called a shield wall. Roman infantry were highly trained and drilled. The Roman military culture was harsh, equated to the US Marines, but much nastier. The legions of the Republic had harsh discipline and were trained daily. Wildly charging into battle and swinging like a maniac was frowned upon, and a more level-headed approach was taken. Group cohesion and teamwork was more important than any personal glory in the battlefield. So successful was this teamwork that units were awarded with accolades that became part of their official name, such as the 20th Legion, which became the 20th Valeria Victrix. Name probably butchered. This pride of service, brotherhood, and honor were what made the Roman infantry so successful. Another contribution to the success of the Roman army was their education. Literacy rates in the Roman army were surprisingly high. In the eyes of the Republic, an educated man was more valuable and understood the tactics of battle. With a level head, teamwork, pride in their unit, and an understanding of the tactics being used, put the standard Roman infantryman far ahead of his combatants. Also, the standard infantryman was backed with Roman technology. Their armor was, in the era, top of the line, as was their support. Highly trained archer and siege weapons thinned out the enemy lines and demoralized them before a charge. With such an amazing backing of technology, loyalty, education, and battle prowess, one might ask, how could the Roman Empire fall? Politics, the bane of everyone's existence. Rome, its rise and fall will also be covered in a later video as well. The Roman legionnaire with his gladius was a major force to be reckoned with in the times of the ancients, but as is the story of all things, faded into history. With the Roman legionnaire and the mighty Spartan warrior, what else might you compare yourself to? The Trojan warhorse? Just kidding. Or am I? These badasses of ancient times still live today in infamy. Their training, technology, and weapons made them pillars of military might for their time. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you liked the video, be sure to throw us a like and subscribe for more awesome videos on ancient people and their technologies. Don't forget to check out these videos and come on over to my channel. The name is Takoa, and I do videos about games. Yeah, I know, it's real interesting, isn't it? But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.